As a reminder, all of our public meetings are recorded. Will be up on our YouTube channel in the near future. No cause for public hearing that I'm aware of, or any old items of discussion. Does anyone on the board have an old item to bring up? That's not a project. All right, very good. New items of discussion. The sheriff and I have been speaking with Tyler Technologies now for, how long has it been going on?
Well, I've been working on this project
for years.
5 years.
And when we came into office, you had expressed that replacement of your software is one of the biggest and most important things. The commissioners, when we met about the budget, allocated a significant amount of the capital improvement dollars for this year to go into replacing that software. The Records Improvement Fund allocated, I believe, $60,000 in order to fix the sheriff's software. And I recall, I think it was spring of 2016 was when we had Telesoft in to talk about their quote.
Yes.
Found that's one of the only software packages. And I'll turn it over to you in just a second. I'm just
a little bit of background. The current software that we're using is the county agreed to become a demonstrator site years and years and years ago. It was given to the county because we agreed to be a demonstrator site. The problem we found is that it is written in COBOL, which is no longer used. Even kids going to college, technical schools for computers have to take a special class for COBOL. It was good in its day. It is on the verge of collapse. As a matter of fact, it has. We put information, we have our civil, our warrants, our license to carry, license to sell firearms, and whatnot, and we continuously lose things. Warrant taps, warrants that have been served, you upgrade them, or to put it in that they've been served, and the attempts to make, and it's losing it. It's on a constant basis. So my concern is a liability issue for the county. If something were to happen where a warrant was already served, but it was not updated in the system, could that happen again?
Right.
Could we get into a liability situation? So.
Yeah, I view that liability as one of the chief liabilities. If your system goes down, it already is down. You're basically operating on.
Yeah, and I've said, I've tried to update the commissioners as much as possible the problems that we've had, when they happen.
So we found that there are very few software companies out there that can do what you need. And in fact, we're basically down to only one that really does everything.
Yeah, Telesoft, there are issues with that from the sheriff's office perspective.
Right.
So.
But if I'm thinking functionality-wise, Metro, whatever it was, does not have the civil side. It's not built for what you need. Yeah. Telesoft is civil, but it doesn't have the investigations, the traffic, etc. So what you need is a full-blown system.
It's very limited, yes.
Yeah, and so really the only other option that I'm aware of at this time is Tyler Technologies' software package.
Yes.
So the reason that the sheriff and I are bringing this to the board today is because we got some very attractive pricing due to the fact that at least 2 other counties in our regional project, possibly 3 other counties, are interested in, or are actively moving forward. In fact, they gave us a deadline of like Wednesday or something. That if we wanted to join them, we would go in on a big group license policy and see a significant discount, like 2/3 off basically of the list price, if we go with it that quickly. So we budgeted some $100,000 probably from the capital asset fund, and then $60,000 for records improvement. The quote before us today is in that ballpark. So what I am asking is that we put this on. Well, one more point. We had talked about waiting until the early intervention program had identified this as one of our key needs. They know it is, we know it is. And the idea was that if we waited until that recommendation came, then we would turn around, apply to the state for a second phase of EIP in order to help cover the costs. The problem, of course, now is that the other counties are under the gun. Well, and we have software down. I mean, this is an emergency. So, providentially, we've got this opportunity here that, quite frankly, would cost about the same as if really they had gone full blown with the EIP grant anyway. So my recommendation is basically that we pull the trigger on this.
Yeah. And I would ask the commissioners to support that. My staff, I've had my staff on numerous times. We've looked at different and research, and they're very, very pleased and impressed. So, in the current system we've got now is that we're still doing, by law, by county code, we have to keep that's not a ledger, it's a docket book. And we're doing that by hand.
Big step backwards.
And we're using, I'm trying to think what the word is.
Excel sheets?
Excel sheets, yes, which is antiquated.
Right.
So, and by law, I have to keep a docket book, but it's just like the checking, we have a certain amount that we charge for service. So the girls when they go in, when they do the paperwork, then they have to manually write the check for that. Where this here, it's all inclusive. It would be tremendous.
I have a question about this investment summary. Can you tell me, or maybe Ben can, since you don't have this in front of you, what is Warren County's obligation?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question. Is that this quote is for the collective group, and just trying to understand what the bottom line is?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact. It is 186.
Yeah.
And if another county comes in on the project, then that may decrease even more.
So 186,000.
I apologize. There is a annual fee that would start after 12 months.
Maintenance.
But I don't recall the number of that. It is less than the Cisco price.
It says 6944, year 1, year 2, 13,888. Is that? Oh, there's a maintenance
did
cost
you-
up here.
I'm thinking it was $20,000 a year, give or take, yearly.
The entire payment for us. That sounded high.
I may have it on my phone also.
Yeah, because right now our maintenance agreement, and I realize we're not getting any maintenance whatsoever from them, is 10,000, isn't it?
Yes, that's what we.
10 or 11 pounds, something like that. And we were getting, in my opinion, this is my opinion only, we were getting absolutely nothing. If you remember, I was frustrated with them, and I said,
Yeah.
you might as well take that money out and burn it in the parking lot. That's basically what we were getting.
Yeah, no, there's definitely the software is substandard.
So Warren County's obligation would be $186,000 if you went in without the hearing. And then there would be a maintenance fee
Yes.
on top of that. And that maintenance fee kicks in after a year,
Yes, after 12 months.
After, the first 12 months is included.
20,000, 21,000 the next year, 21,173. The next year's 21,809. Next year's 22,460.
or? Okay.
Before that, we're getting
And that's the
continual
cost,
updates,
right?
correct?
That's tri-county. Yeah, 186, 161 was the total cost.
186, 161. And I can say too, one thing is this with our regional CAD being Tyler technology, it'll be integrated completely as they do stuff. If, say, whatever, if a deputy's doing civil work, they go out to the residents and they, the mileage is this, blah, blah, blah. Our dispatcher's gonna be putting that in like they do now, but it's just there now. They still have to pull it back out and look at it, put it in their stuff. It'll be integrated completely. And that's one of the even major pluses of it being Tyler, is it's already gonna be, all part of the same. Also, our vendor that is doing the implementation of the CAD program software stuff is gonna, MCN Consulting is going to do the same thing for this project as part of the other project.
Wow.
Because they're gonna be in the middle of it, so it's like,
This is the time.
so it's, yeah, that would, you know, even if the 3 counties would decide they're not gonna do it right now and do it down the road, they're gonna add probably a couple $100,000 to the project for somebody to do the implementation of it too, so that's a big cost savings there, you know. And I know the big thing is right now is McKean County is not sure where they're going, so.
Right, but if they came in, my guess would be that amount for us drops another 30 grand or so.
At the most, it's because it's,
Yeah, it's already pretty low, but.
yeah, because it's not like, you know, what it would drop maybe is the yearly maintenance may drop $1,000 a year or something like that, but it's the significant thing is this being purchased, you know, on the other side of it.
So, in some ways, this is a great opportunity. In other ways, it's kind of like we're in a bind. We can't really do anything else. So, is everyone comfortable with putting it on the agenda for Wednesday?
As long as we have the money in capital and the records improvement funds.
And my concern was less that, and I didn't realize that the maintenance was 20 grand. That's more than I had thought.
But it kicks in only after a year. So we have a year.
Well, yeah, we have a year to budget.
And I believe your maintenance is closer to 12 grand a year.
Yeah, that is, it's not, I thought it was in the 10 or a little less.
We should get a confirmation on that.
And what we pay for maintenance, the 8 grand a year, the 911 paid for maintenance,
Right.
is going away. So,
Oh, look at you saving the sheriff's
as our Tyler Technologies, the regional project, that maintenance is gonna be paid for by the 15% 911 money. So that goes away come
All right.
when this is all project is done. So there's the $20,000 a year that we already give to Cisco for to Tyler for the sheriff's office. And it's not 911 money being used for that, it's just county money that we're not spending on 911. We spend county money on,
Right.
911 doesn't pay 100% for 911, so.
Okay, good. Well, that makes the decision easier.
I would like to have some discussions in the future concerning the maintenance. Is there a way that we could earmark X amount on from license to carry what we're already generating to pay that maintenance, or some other avenues? It won't be an added cost. I mean, I'm not asking for new money per se. I'm just saying, if we're generating X amount of dollars, okay, we take $3 per permit that's coming into the county, because the county's getting $19 per permit. So, and the other thing too is that we're trying to get our fee bill, the sheriff's fee bill, increased. There are costs in there that go back to, really nothing's been done on the fee bill since 1984. So the $20 per license to carry that's what it is. The problem we're facing in Harrisburg is that a lot of the legislators are looking at this as a new tax. It's not a tax, it's a user fee. If someone sends say someone that hasn't paid their credit card and there's an action filed against them, we charge X amount for that. The fees would increase. The other interesting thing is in the bill that's written right now, because the pathonetary, the clerk, the register and recorder, I believe there's a fee put on per docket, or per item that is filed in their office. In the new fee bill now, it includes $5 per docket or document, and that is to be put in a fund for IT equipment, computers, software, etc. So that may be, but we can get Harrisburg off the fence and understand this is not a new tax, it's just a, and obviously, I mean, to me, if common sense dictates, if the sheriff's office is generating more income and the fees are upgraded to where they should be current day, that's less tax dollars that have to go, I mean, it comes into the county, that's less tax dollars that the county has to possibly put in to the sheriff.
Right. All right, well, is there any other commissioner comments or county employee comments?
Do we have an agreement?
What we're gonna need to do is most likely just approve the expenditure, and then we'll actually need to get an official agreement from them. This is a quote. So we'll pass the quote, and then there will inevitably be an agreement that needs to be passed as well. But the point is that will authorize us to sign and say we're committing to doing this, so we don't miss the boat.
Maybe they can get an agreement to us before Wednesday.
Possibly.
It was, if I could, it was an intergovernmental agreement that needed to
Yeah.
be signed with Elk County.
It would be with Elk County.
Fiduciary.
Exactly.
So,
So this, again, what I'm asking to pass on Wednesday would be authorization for us to sign, with Tyler, saying we're committing to the funds, but then we will need to set up an agreement with Elk County as the fiduciary agent. And that will probably not be complicated because we already have such agreements in place due to the fact that they are the fiduciary agent for
But that
911.
agreement is for the regional,
Understood.
our
but I mean,
regional project, so there'll be
There's
one
a
just-
template.
There'll be one just for the Erie, Elk, and Warren.
Sure. Okay.
Same thing,
Yeah, it's effectively the same
just
thing.
a couple less counties on it.
Right. Okay. Any public discussion on this comment, on this?
And don't quote me on this, but I'd have to talk to Buck a little bit more about this, and there's a chance that if another county possibly would want to come onto this, if the system's capable of it, it may be the same thing as like we did with the Northern Tier, that when Erie come on later, they put money into the pot that
Mhm.
so there's a chance that whatever McKean County decides a year from now, they want to come on board, and it would, it'd be up to the three counties to decide, hey, we're going to let them on board.
Have others been asked now?
What's that?
Have others been asked now?
Yes.
And no one
No.
except these three?
No.
Okay.
Erie and Elk really, Erie was the biggest one. They need something. So there's a chance, that's
Who else was asked, like McKean?
the whole Northern Tier.
Okay.
McKean, Elk, Bard, Jefferson, Clarion,
Cameron.
Crawford.
How many counties?
Clearfield.
11?
Yeah, there's 10 counties
10?
in that group.
Okay, very good. Any other questions for the sheriff? All right, good. Act 13 Bridge Rehabilitation Project. Dan was going to present on that. You have it?
Yeah, I emailed that to you separately from the packet because he brought it up late Friday.
Oh, I did not see it yet. All right, this project consists of placement of slush-grouted riprap at the far abutment to repair undermining of the foundation full length and prevent future undermining. This is the Big 4 Road Bridge on Akeley Run. Submitted by Pine Grove Township. Requested amount is $45,000. I believe that's what we did for, it's the same amount that we did for Glade Township. And they're kicking in 10% for the municipal share.
It looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I apologize, I didn't see this at all yet. Are there any questions on this, or would you, as a board, like to see this on the agenda on Wednesday?
I think it should be put on the agenda.
That's fine with me.
Okay. I mean, just based on what I'm seeing here, it looks exactly like Glades that we approved last year, 2 years ago. All right, any more questions on that? Good. Public comment? Anything you want to bring to the board? Mr. Scully?
I'm going to go off subject right now. Could you tell me how much of Titusville's in Warren County?
And none. The municipality of Titusville is in Crawford.
Why is the Titusville Herald writing in the county guide, making such a big deal about Warren County, and they don't really have anything to say about Warren County? They're not in Warren County. That'd be like the Erie Times coming down here, just to write a letter. I think it's getting a little ridiculous. The press time is being put in to the Warren County guide and that, downgrading two of the commissioners for everything they do. It's getting to be a zoo parade out among the people, and I'd love to see it stop. That's my personal opinion, and you can quote me on that. That's all I have to say.
I agree.
Some of Southwest Township is in Titusville.
Yeah,
School.
it's their school district, and the circulation does go to them, but that's about it. Sheriff, did you have something else you wanted to add?
No, do you need me for anything else?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Quarterly objectives.
No problem, Sheriff.
I'm not aware of any updates on quarterly objectives. Projects, any projects that you want to update it? Honestly, the main one for me was, one that was on my agenda was the sheriff software, so that's pretty much my update. Yes. You want to raise that?
I guess I just want to say that we do have a proposal that we need to do some more looking at internally, and speaking with Motorola about a new countywide radio system. We've got some pricing. I have a lot of heartburn on one of the pricings, and
As do I.
the recurring costs. I think maybe we've discussed some alternatives. So I think either next week or the week after, next week probably, next work session, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about it.
Okay. Well, it's one
Lauren,
of
the state radio director, has a copy of it. I spoke with him a few minutes ago, and I'm going to see him again on Thursday in Harrisburg. So a little more to come on it. It's not a pretty figure, but it's about 1/20th of what Erie County is paying. So
Right, and it's not a pretty figure in the sense that we need to upgrade our system, and it's going to cost us a lot. However, that is the best pricing I think I could have dreamed of.
yes,
So let's not get into it today.
right, because it's not a done deal. It's not
Yep.
you know, don't quote me. I mean, it's still an evaluation.
As you say, don't quote me on it, doesn't mean.
They won't.
Yeah, it's still an evaluation process. It's not it's a done deal. So. I just don't need 19 fire chiefs calling me or kids going, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like,
It was like 6 months ago. We were in a public meeting and the sheriff was there, and he said, "This okay off the record." And we're like, and I think it was Josh was here or whatever. He's like, "You can't. That doesn't work. You're in a public meeting. You can't say off the record."
I mean, it's not like we're the biggest thing is it's not. I'm not asking you guys to act on anything yet. We're still in that evaluation. We got a pretty book.
So
Right now, that's all we got is just a pretty book.
Since we're
We're going to leave it with that. But
well, this is a project that is on our quarterly objectives, so we can bring it up at any meeting. When we're ready, we'll do a full-blown presentation.
And it's something that's unfortunately been coming in Warren County for many decades.
since we're
When
discussing.
Erie County switches to a different system, we will be the only one in the state still using the low band, but
Your ham radio.
pretty much. It's still a good system. It's just old technology, and unfortunately, it's kind of one of those like Microsoft did with XP. It said, "Oh, we're not going to maintain it anymore because we want you to buy new stuff." Even though it all still works, it's just an unfortunate thing that you know, we can't buy a base station anymore, and the little monitors that the guys carry around, they can't buy anymore. But go on that system. Corporate greed.
Yes.
Since we're talking about software, one of the things that I've talked to the assessment department about and looked into is replacing vision software. We've been trying to get the GIS data on the website for quite a while, and they're just not responsive. It's a huge problem. My understanding is that the software package that we have with them was done a few years ago. You know, it was like the cheapest of the bunch, and we're getting what we're paying for, essentially. I think that if we're going, you know, if there's potential for Tyler to be a solution for the sheriff's department, and then we're also essentially working with Tyler through the pictometry program, and that there's going to be data that coincides with that, it might be worth it to also look into, you know, Tyler or another organization for our assessment data. Like, we really need to have a better, more current solution for that. And I just wanted to let you know that that's something that we're looking into, at least, or they started looking into it, but I think we're going to push a little bit harder to get other quotes on that.
Okay. Well, the Kanban board that we bring up in these meetings moves from like planned or backlog to implementing to done. It's not supposed to be a revolving door, but we'll just take that back off the done category and put it in the backlog again. All right. Any other project updates?
I think, Commissioner, one other thing is I know Pam sent out the thing that the three of you and the sheriff and the warden, I think, are invited to the software demonstration on Friday.
Oh, for knowledge.
At the LTAC?
L Detect. Myself, kind of seen some of it before. L County 911 uses this, and we are, Scott and I got an overview of it, and scheduling it would just be phenomenal, and it looks like it could be a positive thing to assist. You know, it doesn't do payroll, but it would help with, you know, it looks kind of like this program, they would be able to, payroll would be able to go in there and print out a payroll, hours and stuff like that, and it looks like, so I hope that the three of you are able to see it on Friday. I think this is it looks extremely user-friendly.
So, for background for the commissioners, in our last meeting, we were talking about meeting scheduling software, and this is what I was referring to. You've evaluated over the years several platforms, and I'm not saying that this is the one by any means. We need to evaluate several, but we have identified a need in the fact that this county does not have a consistent way of scheduling, or especially within the departments that have shifts, or time tracking. Like, we use Excel sheets and paper forms and stuff. And we've all said in the past that we need to move to an electronic system that everybody's on, but I guess the 911 is really kind of driving to make it happen. Therefore, I threw in the sheriff's office and us and the jail in order to see if everybody wanted the same thing. We can evaluate this together and see if it makes sense, and then we'll need to at least probably get a couple others. So I'll take it on myself to do some research or delegate it to find some alternatives. But generally speaking, I'm going to be pushing forward to try to get some scheduling software for consistency's sake, and ideally something that integrates with AccuFund.
So, a couple of things related to the agenda on Wednesday. One is, we should really check with the courts to see what our legitimate time frame is for that meeting on Wednesday, because if we may want to see if we can move it to the main courtroom if they're going to boot us from the Jackson, because I have a feeling that meeting's going to be a long one. And the second thing is we need to add the agreement with the WCDA for the PNC building to the agenda. Which we have, we can send it to Pam in order to get it on the agenda.
Cindy, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure I asked Pam to include everyone. I think we should include everyone, but I'm not sure I did ask you to do that. Okay, so now can we invite the other commissioners since I forgot to ask them?
Well, it was kind of, we were discussing about us doing it, and then it's kind of like, well, why don't we just, it was your suggestion the other day, why don't we just make everybody?
Right.
So,
All right, very good.
Oh, you mean the Friday? Okay,
Yeah, the
sorry,
Friday
I
night.
totally lost.
Sorry.
That had nothing to do with what I was
I'm sorry,
saying.
yeah.
Confused.
Yeah, if there's going to be more than one commissioner there, we just need to be very careful to not give any indications of
It's
anything.
an informational meeting.
Yeah, purely informational. All right, commissioners meeting review. Yeah, let's put on the agenda the WCDA agreement now that the solicitor has drafted it with the attorney for WCDA. They should be ready to present it to us. I think we left the last meeting with the possibility of, with the authority to sign that, but we might as well just be safe and run it through the public meeting again.
Yeah, I definitely would want it in a public meeting.
Then there's a couple proclamations, no big deal, liquid fuels. You already met on that, right, on a work session that I wasn't here for?
Yep.
All right, so that's ready to go.
That's all pretty
Well,
straightforward.
I'm putting in 3 different resolutions with the same number because there was not, and then you can decide which one you want to agree on as far as the figure goes.
Oh, there's not consensus?
Well, no, you weren't there,
Oh, okay.
so it's pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Just like giving more as opposed to.
155, 165, and 160.
All right, well, I'll review it with you after the meeting and make my decision. The career partnership, you've got that, Jeff.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical, no big deal. CDBG, no big deal. So, anything else that needs to be added to that meeting? Oh, right, the thing that we were just talking about, the Tyler Technologies thing.
Now, I put on the pharmaceutical because also then tomorrow is prison board and they'll make the suggestion.
Right. So, yep, we'll go ahead and preempt that. Good. Anything else that needs to be on the agenda for Wednesday? All right. Any schedule updates or general updates? Go ahead.
I've been to the high schools last week. I picked 4 of the 5. I'll be at Youngsville this Thursday. I brought back with me roughly 65 new voter registration applications. Some of the students chose to take them home with them to, get their social security number, their driver's license, or, discuss with their parents' party options. But I think it's going very well between the League of Women Voters and myself, and we've got back a lot of new voters. So that's
Abnormally high when compared to other years?
normally, yes, it's a lot higher, and I think it helps with me taking the machines in and doing like a presentation, like in the midterm elections and those kind of things. When the league goes and just sits at a table, a lunch table, the kids don't even give them a second look. But like Melissa Becker from Warren High, we were in a study hall room and they were bringing the kids in during their normal class times and talking to them and then walking through the application process. And so I think it's very, very well this time.
That's great.
Okay, good. Schedule, any other updates from anybody? Okay. Schedule-wise, the only abnormal thing for me this week is normal. Next week, I may go down on like Thursday, Friday to the NACO, National Association of County Commissioners of Counties. They're having a legislative conference in D.C. I can't recall if I signed up or not, so.
Not through me.
Okay. So I may go. We'll see.
I don't know if you saw the email from PComp, but they were asking us about the dinner at CCAP. We need to respond to that.
Yeah, I'm going to CCAP.
Yeah.
It's what, late March?
Yep.
Like the 25th or something. Yeah.
No, the 19th,
Okay.
20th, and 21st. Or no, yeah, 19th, 20th, and 21st. You'll be back on the 21st.
Okay, so I'm planning on going, so I can go to that dinner.
Yeah, I'll go too. Just as long as, I'm gonna send him an email asking that guy not do any jokes this year.
They were really terrible. No, what you should do is you should be the stand-up comedy for that night.
Oh yeah, that would be great. I got a bunch of them.
Did you really say that to him?
Yeah, no, this guy was really bad, but just so.
You have no idea. Yeah, it makes me look like Rodney Dangerfield.
Guy must have been really bad.
He really
He's terrific. Yeah, no, he's a commissioner from Lawrence County
I don't remember.
on the west coast, and it was so bad the first year that I really think that's the reason that the attendance the second year dropped in half. I mean, literally, Ben and I walked in, we were eating all the desserts ourselves. We're like, where'd everybody go? And then we sat down, and then he started telling jokes, and then we remembered, and it was like, oh no, yeah, it was bad. I couldn't believe it.
Well, I think we have county business, so. Anything else for the good of the order?
I guess, Commissioners, I, with the assistance of West PA, Gunsville TV, and Insight Technology, probably sometime either this week or the very first part of next week, I'm going to be discontinuing some radio circuits and some telephone circuits that we've been paying, that we were using for the last 10 years. We've gone to newer technology and changing things and gone to fiber with between West PA, Youngsville TV, and Insight Technology. Everything that we've done over the last few weeks and months, actually, we're looking at probably close to $1,400 a month worth of savings. So,
Gosh, I like the sound of that.
yeah,
That's
so
so nice.
and we're on fiber instead of old copper on some of the stuff. Yeah, there's a few places we still are stuck with old copper and have issues with. But that's the world we live in. But we've switched over some stuff, and like I said, with that, and yes, all three of those agencies are being paid in some way or form, but they have gone above and beyond in assisting getting us better connectivity for a lot less money. So,
Good.
kudos to those three businesses.
Excellent, thank you. Anything else? I guess we're adjourned.